Teacher Shell Learning Resource Channel.
Let's read a story with comprehension check. A loaf of croutons. Mimi and her little sister Claire are each baking a loaf of bread to go with their family's dinner. I'm following Grandma's old bread recipe, Claire announces. She has lined up all sorts of measuring cups and measuring spoons in front of her. Behind them are bags of flour, sugar, salt, and yeast. In the middle of the workspace, Claire has a wrinkled piece of paper, which has her grandmother's recipe written on it. Claire follows the directions. It says to put a pinch of yeast into 4 cups of warm water and then add 5 cups of flour. Claire reads out loud while measuring the precise amount of flour she needs and dumping it into her bowl. Well, I'm going to make my own special bread. I have the recipe right up here, Mimi says, pointing to her head. Mimi starts dumping ingredients into her bowl without measuring them. A handful of flour goes in, followed by a large spoonful of sugar, a small spoonful of salt, a tiny bit of yeast, and a coffee mug of water. Mimi starts kneading these ingredients together, but they are not sticking together very well. I don't think bread works like that, Claire says. Claire adds exactly 1 teaspoon of sugar and 1/2 a teaspoon of salt to her bowl, and then she starts working the mixture into a round ball of sticky dough. Well, this is how my bread works, Mimi says, still struggling with the mess in her bowl. It's supposed to be dry and gloppy, like this, and then it all comes together perfectly in the end. Whatever you say, Mimi. Claire shapes her dough into a perfect ball, then coats it with olive oil, just like the recipe says. She places a kitchen towel over her bowl and sets it by the window. It's not going to bake by the window, Claire. The sun isn't hot enough. Mimi points out to her sister in her best grown-up voice. I'm not baking it yet. The recipe says you have to wait half an hour, Claire answers. Grandma says the yeast needs time to make the dough rise. It's supposed to double in size before you bake it. My dough's perfect just like it is, Mimi declares. The ingredients in her bowl are barely clinging together, but Mimi plops them onto a baking tray, and into the oven they go. She turns around and smiles at Claire, quite satisfied with her efforts. Well, see, Mimi, none of that looked right to me, Claire says. An hour later, the sisters compare their loaves of bread. Claire's dough has risen beautifully in the oven. and has gained a fine and golden crust. Mimi's dough, on the other hand, has turned into something dense and hard. Her bread looks like a short, sand-colored brick. You should have just followed the recipe and waited for the yeast to rise, Claire says. She shrugs her shoulders and rests her perfect loaf on the kitchen table. Mimi tries to cut her bread, but it is too hard. It breaks into small pieces. Be careful, you might break the knife, Claire says, laughing. I think next time I'll follow a recipe, Mimi says, sighing. Just then, the girl's mother walks in and winks at Claire. Did someone make croutons? Their mother asks. We need them for the salad. Mimi lifts up the baking tray with her dense and hefty bread. Fresh croutons, right here, she answers. Oh, it was you, Mimi, her mother exclaims, looking surprised. I never knew you could bake. These croutons are perfect. Your turn to read, kids. Good job! This time, let's answer the questions from the story. Number 1. What are Mimi and Claire doing in the story? A. Baking cookies. B. Baking a loaf of bread. C. Making a salad. You're right. The correct answer is letter B, baking a loaf of bread. Number 2. What recipe is Claire using to bake her bread? A. Her own recipe. B. A recipe from a cookbook. C. Her grandmother's old bread recipe. You're right. The correct answer is letter C, her grandmother's old bread recipe. What ingredients did Claire line up for baking? A. Flour, sugar, salt, and yeast. B. Flour, sugar, salt, and butter. C. Flour, eggs, sugar, and milk. You're right. The correct answer is letter A, flour, sugar, salt, and yeast. Number 4. How does Mimi decide to bake her bread? A. She follows a recipe carefully. B. She measures everything exactly. C. She makes up her own recipe and doesn't measure the ingredients. You're right. The correct answer is letter C. She makes up her own recipe and doesn't measure the ingredients. Number 5. What problem does Mimi encounter when baking her bread? A. She runs out of yeast. B. Her dough is not sticking together well. C. She accidentally burns the bread. You're right. The correct answer is letter B. Her dough is not sticking together well. Number 6. What does Claire do after adding the ingredients to her bowl? A. She kneads the dough and shapes it into a ball. B. She waits for Mimi's dough to finish baking. C. She adds more yeast to the mixture. You're right. The correct answer is letter A. She kneads the dough and shapes it into a ball. Number 7. Why does Claire place her dough by the window? A. To let it cool down. B. To let it rise as the recipe says. C. To dry out the dough. Very good. The correct answer is letter B, to let it rise as the recipe says. Number 8. What happens to Mimi's bread after it bakes? A. It rises and turns golden. B. It becomes dense and hard, looking like a brick. C. It turns out perfect with a nice golden crust. Very good. The correct answer is letter B. It becomes dense and hard looking like a brick. Number 9. What does Mimi say after seeing her bread turned out badly? A. I think next time I'll follow a recipe. B. I think my bread needs more yeast. C. I'm going to try a different kind of bread. You're right. The correct answer is letter A. I think next time I'll follow a recipe. Number 10. What does Mimi's mother say when she sees the bread Mimi baked? A. Did someone make croutons? B. This bread is perfect for a sandwich. C. You should have followed Claire's recipe. You're right. The correct answer is letter A. Did someone make croutons?
How many scores did you get? Wow, that's a good job! Do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button to be notified on our next episodes. Goodbye, kids!